Welcome back to another episode of How to Fix Your Broken Tesla. I'm Garrison. I'm going to teach you how to replace a wheel bearing, not a wheel bearing. I'm going to teach you how to replace a wheel speed sensor. Mine went out a few days ago and I got a bunch of fault codes. It was saying stability control disabled, traction control disabled, cruise control, lane keep assist, a whole bunch of things. And I assume that it's because it's a wheel speed sensor. So we're going to go into service mode, we're going to see the codes, and then we'll take this apart and fix it. I've bought a replacement right here, so let's get started. Let's check the faults. So what you want to do is go to software, tap and hold for a few seconds, and then you type service, and it'll say enter service mode, click enable, and now you're in service mode. And this will allow you to see more information than you typically could. So we see automatic emergency braking disabled, autopilot ECU.
All right, so if you look at the rest of these codes, you see this one, ESP-A033FRWSS. That stands for front left wheel speed sensor signal noise. And then you see the brake override, you see the tire pressure monitoring system fault, and you see wheel speed sensor open or short to ground. That right there tells us what we need to know. So now we can go and start taking it apart and find the issue.
All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get a jack where you can jack your car up high. So I had to drive up onto a piece of wood, but now I can fit the jack underneath the car. So I'm going to find where the little puck goes. Right there. So with the jack underneath the car, then we'll take off the cover just like that, and let's loosen up these lug nuts. They're 21 mil, and this wrench is not going to be long enough. I don't have a breaker bar here with me, so what I did instead is got an extension and a big socket fitted over the end, and that's a makeshift breaker bar right there. And with those loose, we'll take them the rest of the way off with the impact. But first, jack the car up the rest of the way. Right. Now that my wheel turns freely, take these off. Just like that, the wheel can come off. Now look at this. Jeez, you can see my tires are really worn, so I really need an alignment, and I also really need to replace my tires. These are dangerously bad, so I'll have to buy a new set. Let's move on. Looks like this is supposed to sit in there like that, and it has come out. And so these wires were rubbing against the wheel and have frayed through, so that's why we're getting a fault code. So because I couldn't get the part right now today, what I'm going to do is create a janky little fix so I can drive the car while I wait for the part. So we're going to snip these, strip these wires, splice them back together so that we're not grounding out. So there I've got my two sides of the wire. What I'm going to do next is strip each individual wire, splice them together as best I can, and wrap it up with some electrical tape and hope that it holds. Got some electrical tape, and I'm just going to tape these little connections up. Then we're going to tape them together. This doesn't have to be perfect, honestly. This just has to last a few days, so I'm not too worried about it. Keep the water and junk and whatever out of there. The next few days, and I think that will be just fine. There we go. Bend that back into shape. That puppy ain't going nowhere. This is what we're replacing. So as you can see, that's the makeshift fix that I did while I waited for the new piece to ship in the mail. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unclip all of these little bits, and we'll have to get back there where it clips into the actual car, and we'll take out the bolt that holds it into the wheel hub, and then we'll replace it. It'll be pretty easy. Here's the replacement part. I just got it on Amazon. There's the part number and whatnot. And this is what it looks like. So you've got just an end that clips into a normal connector, and then this end goes down into the wheel hub, and it'll be held in with probably a 10 or 12 millimeter bolt. And then these clips just hold it into the upright and the control arm, and it should plug in something like that. So let's see. So here I've got a 10 millimeter and an extension just on the wrench, and this will go down like this onto the bolt behind. Come back here behind the hub. You can see this bolt right here. That's the 10 mil that we're going to take off. Okay, so there's your bolt, and this should just, slide on out like that. Now we're just going to take these out of here. That one can just pop out like that. You should all just be able to yank out of place. All right, so the last clip is just this one right back here. The last couple clips are right here, and then the wiring harness actually connects in right next to it right there. With that out, we can disconnect this. There we go. Just like that, we have the old one out, and we can put the new one in. I always like to compare old parts to new parts to make sure that they are indeed the same. Yep, that matches. Let's start by connecting this one up in here, and we'll just feed it back through all the points where it's supposed to go. You don't want to tighten it too much, just enough so it's tight. I think these little pushers may be too big to fit. Yeah, it looks like they are. What I've done is I took off the old clip and I put it on the new harness. So hopefully that will keep it in place, just like that. And I'm gonna do that with the rest of these, I think, because these just can't fit into those holes there. As you can see, we've got it all connected in. All of these are hooked up, and it's bolted in the back. Here's the old bit taken out. So now we can go ahead, put the wheel back on, and see if it works. Okay, here's the wheel. Just lift it back into place. When putting on the lug nuts, I like to twist them by hand just a little bit to make sure they're not cross-threaded. And then obviously you want to go in a star pattern, especially when you're tightening them down. It's just good to be in the habit of it. We can put the car back down onto the wheel now. And we can tighten these down using our makeshift breaker bar. And put the cover back on. Just line it up, push it into place, and there you go. So that's how you replace your wheel speed sensor using simple tools, a simple jack, and a little bit of hard work and sweat. If you don't have a fancy garage or a lift or anything like that, you can easily do this job yourself. So there you go, that's how you do it. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. See you in the next video.